This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place?
The taco place?
Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
It's time for the Jackson's Postgame Show on Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the ICCU YouTube chat or leave us a message on the Signature Roofing voice box at speakpipe.com/BNN. The BNN Postgame Show is presented by Jackson's, where you can get a 99-cent 16-ounce coffee or refill with Let's Go Rewards. Need snacks or a cold drink? Visit one of the 300 Jackson's locations today. The title sponsor of Bronco Nation News is RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. For all your painting needs, check out RowPaint.com. Now, let's join the guys at the James Kitchen and Bar near Albertsons Stadium for the Jackson's Postgame Show on Bronco Nation News.
All right, welcome on in. Bronco Nation News here at the Jackson's Postgame Show, coming to you live from the James after a 30-7 defeat for the Boise State Broncos against Fresno State. Maddox Madsen left the game early with an injury, and it was all downhill from there for the Broncos. Really one of the worst home losses Boise State has had since joining the Mountain West. Just 7 points, I believe, the least in a conference game since joining the Mountain West. Not a lot of good today, but we'll get into all of your comments, get into all of the thoughts. Is it the coaching? Is it the players? Combination of all of it. Just credit to Fresno. I'm Nathan Carroll here with Brad Bedell, here with Kent Riddle. How you guys doing?
Doing
not
all
good.
Right? Not good, because I know where this is headed. And, at the end of the day, like, I'm certainly not going to sit here and criticize guys that are working their ass off to players and coaches, to win games, win the championship, win the conference, go to the playoffs, all that stuff. And it was a tough day, and nobody's hurting worse than the guys in that building. And I said it in the pregame show, but, no better feeling than the night you get an extra hour of sleep. You got a bye next week to kick this off with a win. And, like halfway through the first quarter, we lose starting quarterback. And you know what? I think that affected the whole team. I think, there was a little bit of once things weren't going well initially for Max out there, like I think it just affected the whole team and everybody a little bit of a letdown, and it didn't go well. And you can't turn the ball over that many times.
If it went wrong, it went wrong.
It went wrong.
Yeah.
So, how about this one? I feel like I got kicked in the balls.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Because you know what? I feel for those coaches. I feel for the players. Where I know what we're in for, which is fine. And you can give blame where
they
blame
all sign up for it. They know it, right?
You're right.
But
I signed up for it. You signed up for it.
But it doesn't make it feel any better. And no matter what anybody says on here in the chat or what we say, like nobody's going to feel worse than those guys do.
Yeah, but I've never wanted an extra hour more lack of sleep in my entire life.
I'll say this. At the end of the day, they get a chance to regroup, win the last 3 games. They can still get in the conference championship game, possibly host it.
Because you and I,
the college football playoff might be off the table, but you know what? You got to win your conference before it even matters.
Yeah, and certainly you said it. I think CFP off the table. You're not getting a 10-3 Boise State team into the CFP. Going 11-2 is already going to be a long shot. But you are right. I mean, if there is one positive out of this loss, they do still control their own destiny to not just go to the Mountain West Championship, but host the Mountain West Championship. So in that sense, in the sense of strictly winning the conference, nothing's changed from this game. That's, I think, the only good thing to take away from this game. A whole lot of bad. Some numbers for you guys. On the offensive side of the ball, 29% success rate, very, very bad. Negative 0.45 EPA per play, very, very bad. The running game.
Your PFF shit?
No. This is some advanced box
Yeah,
stuff.
those are definitely advanced stats because they're none I've ever heard of.
3.2 yards per play.
Okay,
how's that one?
That's bad.
Very, very bad. Total yardage 195. Very, very bad.
Yeah, that's not
very, very bad. And let's see if they have a first downs on here.
Again, we lost our starting quarterback midway through the first quarter. I'm not saying like we've never had a guy that came in as the backup or whatever, but I hope everybody understands like those days are done. Like your best chance to have a really good backup come in is if he's a freshman you were planning on redshirting. Because I love Max. He's an awesome guy, and he's a great person. There's a reason he was the backup. That's not a knock on him or whatever, but Maddox was better than him.
Yeah, if we want to go, we can go into dive into the offensive side of the ball with that, which I'll let's do it. But let's start with this one. This is a team loss. Like that's one thing I don't, because I think when we get to like we get back here because we're now Monday quarterbacks, where the hell you want to call that. But essentially this is an overall team deal, right? We could say offense is horrible, right? Well, defense was, okay. Let's not, I don't want to cast it on them, but they gave up some big runs. They gave up some things like that. But I'm going to tell you this right now. You want to see the next 15, 20 minutes of our lives? We're going to be inundated on that message board and something like that. Like, well, it's the coach's fault because they did not recruit a quarterback to replace him. I'm sure you've already seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guess what? I hate to tell you this, guys. Unless you want to put your money where your mouth is, then start donating.
You can get one.
Because I'll tell you this right now.
Starting quarterbacks going for $2 million.
Yep.
So
in the transfer portal, and for anybody that's like, oh, we're going to develop a backup quarterback. You're going to develop a backup quarterback by signing a freshman, right? So don't come in here and say, I told you we should have recruited. The coach's fault. Zach Hill's fault.
No doubt, right?
It's not their fault.
Obviously, everybody knows that.
I'll tell you this right now, and I don't care. I told I was going to keep you behind it. I've talked to the people that recruit people in this town. They tried on 7 guys.
Well,
7 guys.
And when I say that, I don't mean like no doubt. When I say that, I mean, hey, if you got money, you can get guys.
There was a young man, a quarterback on this campus that really was going to come to Boise and literally gave the call to the coach, said, hey, I just got a $1.25 million offer. I'm going to go somewhere else. You know what you do?
Especially when you've got a guy you liked in Maddox Madsen. And that's
the thing. It's like, it's hard to recruit in today's day and age, a backup quarterback with a starting quarterback that just came off of a playoff that has won.
And it doesn't matter if you tell everybody, like, hey, it's a open competition. Like, it doesn't matter because guys
they want guarantees. But let's go back. Offense not great. Defense, I tell you what, it played really good in the first half. And then I think they were on the field too much.
Yeah.
They were on the field too much.
I think it's the third game this year where we've seen defense plays well early. Third time this year, the offense only scored 7 points, and the defense started to fall apart a little bit late, right? Happened against Notre Dame, happened against South Florida.
But that goes back to complementary football. Let's not blame the defense when you're doing a 10, 12 play drive, which Fresno did a good job running the football, especially in the second half, extending drives, and offense goes 3 and out. Now they're back on the field. You have to play complementary football, and that just didn't happen tonight.
Agreed.
And that's
agreed. All things considered, I did think the defense played fairly well. Just 3.6 yards per play allowed.
Really good.
I mean, if you're Eric Chenander, you come into this game saying, "Hey, we're going to hold Fresno State to 3.6 yards per play. We're going to hold them to where's my yardage numbers here? 248 total yards of offense."
Agreed.
You take that all day, but if we want to get critical of the defense a little bit, costly penalties that kept drives alive. Once again, you see some personal fouls, some pass interferences, and they didn't get stops in the red zone. They got
I thought the first pass interference
against Benefield.
I thought that was a tough call.
I agreed.
I think there was a couple of
he looked back. He looked back at and I think by the time the personal foul at the end, like, yeah, maybe things could be a little bit different, but I think that was a frustration penalty as much as anything.
Yeah, and I just bring that up to say the defense wasn't perfect. Defense played good enough to win, I think, all things considered.
No, I agree with you.
And for the offense, it just came down to Maddox got hurt, and Max cut forth.
They lost Steele. He didn't come back.
They lost Jason Steele. You come into the game down Chris Marshall and Ben Ford, arguably your two best receivers, without a doubt, 2 of your 3 best. And so Cutforth comes in, and look, he certainly wasn't the only issue. The receivers couldn't catch a cold in the first half. The first interception is a dropped pass off Lauder's hand. There's a drop when Maddox was still into the game. Cam Bates would have had a 75-yard touchdown, and it bounces off his chest. You had drops from Latrell Caples, had a drop from, I believe, Malik Sherrod or Dylan Riley. Couldn't remember which back. So no one on the offense really played well today, and that's how you get a performance like this, all things considered. I will say this, though, about the quarterback. You know, I put out a tweet before we went on and said, look, to me, this loss wasn't as much today as it was in the offseason. They made the decision to roll with 3 scholarship quarterbacks. Maddox, Annette, Cutforth.
But I think then you're
and I understand.
I'm trying to be nice.
No, here's what I'll say.
Because I think you're a part of the problem.
I get money-wise, you can't bring in somebody to compete with Madsen.
So they tried that last time. How'd that work out?
No, I'm saying you didn't need somebody to compete with Madsen. I think they needed a third guy in the ring to fight for the backup job.
I agree, but who are you going to get?
I mean, there's guys out there at the FCS level who are not making even 5 figures.
Can you name what's starting right now?
I mean, there's the backup at Eastern who's been playing. He came in and played good football for Jackson Taylor. I mean, is that not a guy who can go out and get in the
here
portal?
And got the shit kicked out of him?
Yeah, but I mean, you're in a better situation at Boise State. You roll into the season with 3 quarterbacks, and when you're a backup quarterback, like I don't think that was Mountain West Championship caliber quarterback play. Are we agreed there?
Tonight.
Today.
Oh, no, I agree with you there. So I'm going to challenge you on the point of you're going to go to the Eastern Washington kid that's a backup at Eastern.
I think
got the shit kicked.
I think you
got the shit kicked out of him here on the blue.
I think you need another body in there at the end of the day because Max Cutforth zero in-game experience. I think he had 2 career passes coming into the year.
Air Force. That's right.
Caleb Annett, likewise, 0 in-game experience coming into this year. And that's the decision that they made. And some of it's, hey, we wanted to pay guys elsewhere. Some of it's, we couldn't find a guy who wanted to come in and be a backup only. But it's the decision that they made. And I think that decision, cost them today. Right. And we can go back and forth about whether or not there needed to be someone else who they brought in. But at the end of the day, Max Cupworth came in. The quarterback play wasn't there. Along with, you talked about Jason Steele. He gets hurt. Chris Marshall, Ben Ford. You have injuries all over the offense.
I'll agree with you there. I'm not going to argue with that. But I just, there's a couple of things I want to say about this whole quarterback thing. Number one, beware what you wish for.
I put out a tweet this week. Boise State fans wanted Brett Rippon benched. There is a little bit of a spoiled fan base thing going on here where it's not always better. You don't get much better than Brett Rippon.
Don't get me started. Okay, beware what you wish for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is, you can go get an FCS kid, which you just pointed out. Well, they tried that, and everybody. There is a welcoming committee at the airport, which is embarrassing, by a competing whatever. And then all of a sudden he came. That's awesome. And I hope he turns out. I hope he's an All-American at UTEP, whatever.
He got benched, by the way.
Didn't work. Correct?
Yeah. No, did not work.
But this is my point. Is the fact of the matter is maybe Boise has their quarterback. And you know what? Like, we had Rip.
Well, that's a great point, though. Like,
Hank.
So if we'd have had Malachi today as the backup, he's a 5-star. Does that make us better in this game? He's a
probably not. I mean, he didn't look good at UTEP.
He is a 5-star, though.
But my example is more so less try to go get that guy and more, some of the guys who are on your staffs.
Jalen Henderson. I'm not picking on you.
Yeah, no, I know.
Hey,
I know.
Don't be soft.
I'm just saying, go
Jay
get
Hendy,
Boise loses bad, and everybody's real sensitive bitches right now.
Yeah,
go
get
the Jalen Henderson. Go get the Montel Cozart. Who knew coming in, I'm going to be the backup.
I would just tell you this: way different rules, way different. Like, we weren't competing on money for those guys. I promise you, there's no chance we'd have got Montel on money. Jalen, maybe, because he bounced around a little bit. But these guys are scouring every option they have, and they're trying to figure it out. And now, you said it before, like, sometimes it might be like, we could get this guy. He's probably a backup. Or we could spend this money somewhere else.
The other difference,
we don't have an unlimited budget. We have guys making decisions every day, who we want, who we can keep.
The other thing is that with the difference between Jalen and Cozart, they were the ultimate team player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when we went and got Montel, I'll never forget it. Like, we got him, right? You're going to compete with Rippon. Everything's good. But what we do at Boise State formationally, we could put both of you on the field at the same time and light it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now kids or players or whatever, they're like, well, I don't want that role. I want to be your starting quarterback. Well, we're gonna open it up. Well, why are you opening up to a quarterback that just took you to the playoff? So what's the fair shot?
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's a lot of people at Boise didn't think what's his face got a fair shot.
Malachi Nelson.
Thank you, Malachi.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between Jalen, who we needed to win the Mountain West Conference title, and Montel, who we needed to win the Mountain West Conference title.
Yeah.
Because at Washington State,
we should assume
got written off.
Apples are not apples anymore.
No.
We're comparing apples and oranges.
And that's fair. And ultimately, they made the decision to say, let's say it costs $200,000 to go get a true backup QB, not competing for the starting job at all. And they said, we'd rather give that to, Marco Notriani. Or
your starting left tackle.
Or your starting left, right. which I think he's probably getting a little bit more than $200,000. But and here's the thing: if Maddox stays healthy all season, it looks like a great decision. And this is the risk you run. Maddox gets hurt, and
that's a very
how are NFL teams rolling with backup quarterbacks? You're the stat guy. If anybody knows this, it's you.
You are. You're like kind of like Rain Man.
There is a lot of teams.
And I like your mustache.
This is just like I had kids. My wife was at a birth.
Do not set it back. I like it.
I'll show you my old driver's license photo. I can get one grown out.
Have you ever watched the show Narcos?
I've not.
You need to watch it because you are working with that mustache.
I've seen the commercials.
Okay,
so but to answer on the NFL front, a lot of really smart teams have invested in backup quarterback, especially if they can get good cheap backup quarterback play. Great example. Jalen Hurts, the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, they took him in the second round when Carson Wentz was coming off a borderline MVP season because, Howie Roseman, their GM, his philosophy is we're going to invest in QB,
Would you agree that might have been luck as much as anything?
100%, because I didn't believe in Jalen Hurts as a prospect. But
there's guys that don't believe in him as a starter.
Yeah. And that's their philosophy is, hey, we're going to continue to invest in this position. Even now that they've got Hurts, they've got Tanner McKee, and they traded for Kenny Pickett. And like they constantly want to be deep at quarterback. Other teams like the Los Angeles Chargers, they just say, hey, we're going cheap because if Herbert gets hurt, we're done anyways. So it doesn't matter. And so it's just a
Miami
philosophy
Dolphins,
thing. I think as much as anything.
Out, they suck.
So you're in my pocket where NIL needs a cap. Because all these kids are getting on cap money.
Right.
Because a veteran NFL quarterback's getting paid $650,000, whatever it is right now, but it's only going against $350 against the cap. So you can make that investment where it's not going off your bottom line.
Right. I think there's some sort of, and this is probably a little too sidetracked, but there's some sort of larger system that needs to be put into place to just help qualify all this. But so all that to say, with the backup quarterback situation, They made the decision they want to invest in other positions. And look, when you're cash strapped, this isn't Texas. They don't have $40 million, right? Ole Miss has $30 million. They invested in backup quarterback because they have the money to do so.
You can go buy a roster. Look at Texas Tech. Yeah. Buy a roster. Boise State can buy a roster.
If we had the funds.
If you had the funds.
All right, let's look at some of the comments. I don't want to get you guys too worked up.
I like sidetrack.
I've seen some go by. I'm like,
Grand Teton saying NCAA is the Wild West. There's just no changing anything. It's probably fair. BJ said 7 points are the fewest. BJ Rains. 7 points are fewest for Boise State in a home game since the BYU game in 2012. And look, that's where it's been a long time since we've seen a bad outing like that. Third time this year, the team only scored 7 points.
Get yourself over there.
And again, we talk about the quarterback, and that's there's a philosophy thing going on there. 7 points, the fewest in the history for Boise State in a Mountain West game.
I would also say this. I mean, as much as we say if it's a philosophy thing, like I think at some point there's a belief thing. Like we believe in these guys. We've seen them. This was Max's first experience, like full game, basically, right? I mean, he came in, had a great drive against Air Force. They see that guy in practice every day. And I think there's some way they believe in him. Like Dirk felt good about him. I know Bush felt good about him. So you have this record. Like, he's not defined by this one game. That guy might end up being the starting quarterback for the rest of the year, and everybody's like, oh, my God, he is the guy we wanted when we, all hated Madsen.
We didn't play very well with Fresno in 2024, whatever year it is.
There's a lot of development that happens, and we have a phenomenal coaching staff. We have phenomenal infrastructure, from the AD all the way down. Trust those people. Like we can hate them, we can get mad at them. Like, all that's reality, but trust them because look at the results they've delivered.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody wants to hear that.
And look, and that's where I'll be a Spencer defender I mean, this guy took you to a CFP last season. Like, how soon we forget what this guy can do.
But I missed it. I asked him to give me a beer. Is the comment about Spencer? No.
Yeah, I mean, there's constant comments about the coaching and whatnot.
Because that's just what people do now. It's like, oh, give me my keyboard. Give me my, let me fire something off about, and maybe I'll be right, and then I can repost it in, 2 years. Like, whatever. I mean, Spence ain't going anywhere. We are freaking lucky to have that.
You better hope he doesn't go anywhere.
We did have a comment. Somebody asked, is Spencer going to take the UCLA job?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
but I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't.
I have zero personal insight on this.
I would be shocked.
I'm going to say 0%.
And I would say even now it's 0%. Not because of the loss, because everybody's like, oh, because he got the brakes beat off him by Fresno. No, because I think Spencer is a very smart human being, and I think he analyzes things very well, and he kind of looks back the track record of Boise State head coaches. And I think he's very smart, and his family's happy.
I'm going to
tell you this right now.
Go
Anybody that's going to go in there, I'm going to go on a rant here. This is because same thing back to the quarterback. Beware what you wish for, because he's an unbelievable leader. And I guarantee the other thing is, like, there's going to be somebody in here.
Is there somebody that can rally these guys to get them to the championship game? No doubt.
He believes in God or whatever. I respect Spencer because of the person he is. And he won't change in a win. He won't change in a loss. And you know who else respects that? The kids
Players.
that are following it.
Well, I want to jump in with this as well. We've got a couple of comments saying, well, Spencer didn't lead the team to the CFP. It was Ashton Genty. Guess what? Guess why Ashton Genty's at Boise State last year?
Because Spencer
was the head coach. Like, people say, well, Dirk took us there. Why was Dirk the offensive coordinator? Right? Like, it is one area where I'll defend Spencer tooth and nail, man, is if you're going to say Ashton took him to the playoffs, the only reason Ashton's here is because of Spencer. The only reason Dirk was here is because of Spencer. And if you're going to criticize Spencer for keeping certain position coaches you don't like or the special teams coordinator, you have to turn around and give him praise when he gets the guys in that do a good job. So I don't know. To me, this isn't necessarily an indictment on Spencer and the staff. The offense did not play very well. They turned the ball over, which put the defense in compromising
I just like to know, though, like, we talked a little bit about the NFL part.
Mm-hmm.
How many backup quarterbacks in college football have been successful? Because in the NFL, there's only 32 starting spots, right? 30.
Yeah.
What, in college football, there's 105.
5 quarterbacks.
How many Division 1A teams?
139 now.
Yeah, plus maybe a couple elite 1AA teams, right? So, like, if you're not good with being a backup and you just want to go play, you can certainly find a place to go play.
Well, and here's what I'll certainly agree with you guys.
Make the game.
Last year, San Diego State is a true freshman quarterback who plays. Danny O'Neill, I believe, was his name. San Diego State plays as true freshman, hits the portal. He's the backup at Wisconsin, right? Jaden Maeva was the starter at UNLV, goes to the portal, goes to USC as the backup at USC for a year. I think the toughest part for these G5 programs when it comes to quarterback is even if you can get a guy or two guys, P4 programs will pick him just to be the backup because they'll pay him $800,000, $1 million to be the backup. And again, that's where
1,000%. That's what I'm saying.
And what rolls downhill?
So you're right. Like, how do you find that backup? Well, first of all, you're never recruiting a guy to be a backup, and no matter what it looks like, you're dying to find the guy. Like, that was Jay Henney. Like, he was like, I'm not the backup. He's like, I just haven't got my chance yet.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
it's a mindset.
Yeah. So everybody's looking for that guy. There are a few of them out there, but there aren't many. And like I said, everybody's looking for him.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the other thing is, quarterback aside, because I like to go back to what I said because I was way wrong in my prediction. I think people pressed, and there wasn't nobody made the play for the quarterback.
Yeah, agreed.
You know what I'm saying? Like a court when you like as a position coach, Riddle, I know you've been through it. When the backup quarterback comes in, you got to go with your position group and go, you know what, guys? Hey, the guy's out. Yeah. Okay, it's over. He's not playing.
Tip ball for a pick.
Correct. He's not out. He's not playing again. So we got to kind of step up our game a little bit and help the backup. That didn't happen.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, which receiver had a good game today? Like Chase Penry had a couple of decent grabs, I guess. Like converted a couple of first downs. Like what did the running back room do to elevate the offense? So we've talked about the quarterback. What are some of your guys' thoughts, I guess, on the offense as a whole?
The other side, like the running back room, to me appeared to be a little beat up.
Yeah, we saw Sire Gaines go down halfway through the game. Yep.
Dylan Riley, I think, was a little beat up coming into the game.
Okay.
So I mean, there's other things guys are battling. I know nobody wants to hear this.
They needed that to go into this game.
I know nobody wants to hear it, but it was a rough day. Yeah. And you know what? We're going to get an extra hour sleep tonight, and tomorrow the sun's going to come up, and we're going to get ready to beat San Diego State and still figure out a way to win the
It's got a lot of things.
Mountain West Championship.
What year was that, Rid? And you're great with this stuff, where we came off of a bye, and we were playing at San Diego State, and I think we just got our
18, I think,
ass kicked in.
Yeah.
And we came in, and Avery had a punt return, Kala had a touchdown return, and then Madsen had a rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
21 points, and we came off the bye, and San Diego State was supposed to beat our brakes.
Yep.
Yeah,
but it was a loss off of BYU in 18.
2018,
Yeah, and I think that kind of makes up for this. And we're trying to see the positive in all this, in which I agree with you 100%. O-lining's got to step it up, right?
Everybody's got to play better.
Everybody, they will. It's just coming off the bye is like the worst thing in the world is losing going into a bye. It's not fun, and it's not fun for the coaches. It's not fun for the players, but it also gives you a time to invest in your own program.
Brad, you have like a angelic glow.
Dude, well,
I didn't even realize that. Here, scoot in a little bit. We can get the glare out of your face.
But I would also say, when you come into this, it's like now they can really invest into tendencies.
Sorry, if I get you in trouble.
Tendencies and everything else.
B.J. worries about
that will help going into San Diego State.
Yeah.
The San Diego State plays Wyoming tonight, right? And then they don't have a bye.
No, they get, I believe, Hawaii next week.
Which is a tough program. I mean, that's one of the sleepers, right, in the Mountain West.
And I believe that game's on the islands, too, which you know how tough that is.
And I hope they play as late as hell and they get home at like 6.
I just like to know how many people would have been good with 24-3 today.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
I mean, if that's your alternate option.
Testicle.
I think Jeremiah Dickey had the tweet that said, I don't believe in bad losses, especially when they're by 21 points, and it could always be worse. And it can always be worse, Bronco Nation. It could be 30-7 the other way. That's you heard it. 30-7. Fresno State takes down Boise State. Spencer Danielson's first loss as a head coach in Mountain West play was previously, I believe, 14-0, 15-0 coming into this game. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the quarterback.
Like today went bad. It's all about where we go tomorrow.
Well,
today's over. Today's over.
Yeah.
And as coaches, they'll analyze the shit out of it for the next, probably because there's not a game tomorrow, 48 hours. They'll go back. They'll look at everything season long, like all that stuff. And but at the end of the day, today went bad. And how do we fix it moving forward? And these guys will do that. Like they'll figure out, like, we're really good at this. We're really good at this. We're not very good at this. We're, and if Max has to start again, or Caleb Bennett, or whatever. I mean,
and there's got to be there's going to be hard discussions to players.
Yeah,
like, hey, we've watched it. There's going to be some discussions. Like, jobs could be open going into this week. And Spencer, knowing him, he's doing, and I'm sure BJ's doing the post game. Spencer's going to take hey, it's on me. I'm the head coach. They weren't prepared, yada, yada, yada. But I also want to see the players take some ownership.
I would also say this, and I'm embarrassed that it took this long. Like, we got to give credit to Fresno, too. I mean, they freaking showed up ready to play. They made some
physically. They beat them physically.
Yeah.
And that's probably what bothers me the worst about this whole thing is I personally thought Fresno came in and gave a middle finger and said, we're going to be the most physical football team on the blue today. And I think at the end of the day, they were.
Well, and
that's what bothers me.
That's Matt Entz. That's his philosophy. We talked to him at Media Day. So he comes from North Dakota State, which you guys know, like that's a program that they want to physically impose every single game. And look, that's kind of been Fresno's seasons. When it works and they're able to physically dominate, they've looked good. And then you've got the Colorado State game. You've got last week in San Diego State where when that's, whoever their opponent is counterpunches, it hasn't gone well.
In my opinion, the way it showed up more than anything is they got an early sack on Madsen, and then they got another one and knocked him out of the game. That was probably where it showed up. Like I thought their offense, which you typically think about the North Dakota State offense against our defense, was even at best, probably in Boise State's favor until late in the second quarter.
The penetration up front and things like that defensively, that's where I thought.
Well, I'm not even saying that. They just did a good job of getting pressure
physically, right? Just physically, I thought they were the most physical team today.
And how about
that bothers me?
How about this stat? Per Jay Tust, Boise State since 2000 had been 53-0 when allowing 225 yards or less. Now 53-1 after today. How about this stat line? Fresno State's quarterback, 10 of 21 for 49 yards. I can't remember the last time I saw a non-option team throw for 49 yards and get a win.
It's been a while.
Maybe this wasn't a team loss as I thought it was.
That's where
and maybe I was wrong in that because that was my feeling on the matter. Now you're like diving in like, ooh.
That's again where if we want to be uber critical of the defense, they didn't force turnovers. They gave up touchdowns in the red zone when you want to bend but don't. But
I
you're
would
getting
also say this: Fresno State didn't put the ball in jeopardy.
No, they didn't.
No, they took care of it. I agree. And that quarterback was very efficient. Like 49 yards.
He's 10 for 21
what'd they run for?
Yeah, exactly.
I've got that here. Let me grab it.
Average per carry, not total yards.
All right, rushes, yards per carry, 5.2. You take that. That's 168 total.
That's a first down every two
plays. Yeah. So, and a lot of that I think came late when Boise State's defense started to get tired.
Second half.
First half, I want to say Fresno State had 4 first downs yardage-wise and 4 first downs by penalty.
Boise have 2.
Yeah. It's to me, this one really just does come down to, look, the 30. You see 30 on the scoreboard and you'll say, defense, bad day. But
no, I agree with you.
The offense struggled. And we talked a lot about Max Cutforth. And look, we don't know how bad Maddox Madsen's injury is. Maybe it's just a sprain and he'll be back in 2 weeks. Maybe it's something serious and he's out for an extended
promise
period.
You this. He'll be doing everything he can to get his ass back. I guarantee it. That dude is a freaking competitor. And if he has the ability to play, I'm sure he will.
What do you guys think? How confident are you if Max Cutforth starting quarterback going into San Diego State? How confident are you Boise State can win a Mountain West championship?
I'm confident. Well, I'm only going to go to San Diego State.
Yeah.
Because that's, at the end of the day, here we go.
Got to win that one to get to the Mountain West
State's
championship.
ass, and you know what I mean? But I think with 2 weeks preparation, and you can dial some things. Let's say Maddox is out, right? And let's say Maddox is out, and they can dial some things to him and his strengths. I think with the way Boise State's defense is really good. Now, San Diego State's defense, I think, is the best in the conference.
Yep. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think that there's no doubt. I think you can go in.
I'm going to still
Boise,
choose to believe they're second best in the conference.
Who?
San Diego State defense. I'm going to choose to believe they're second
in the conference.
Well, I actually, you can look it up. I don't know, but I think San Diego State's the best defense.
No,
by a few metrics. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Which the defense is playing well. If you want a positive, Boise State's defense is playing well right now.
Can you control San Diego's explosive offense? Because that's where it comes down to. It's the Baylor system. The head coach at San Diego State studied Art Briles, Kendall Briles, Jeff Lebby. It is a known.
The veer and shoot.
Yes.
Which Boise State's seen it before against USF week 1. Same exact system, same exact style.
Not as good talent.
San Diego State, not as good talent. But correct. I'm saying that veer and shoot, it's a system that there are ways to beat it, but you have to know how to beat it. And some coaches just cannot scheme for it, and they just don't have the teams ready.
It's like the triple option.
If you don't stop the run, you're screwed.
Got to win with light boxes, which look, the USF lost week 1, not a lot of positives. Boise State did stop the run game with light boxes.
TCU is a great example of what's done very well versus Baylor and the Briles tree. The TCU back with what's his face?
Gary Patterson.
Yes. Beat our brakes off. Right? That's just somebody who studies it. So, hey, tell you what, Shenander, what is Scott Frost?
Yeah, same
thing.
So I think the other deal always is what's
how you doing, man?
What is sorry, Brad Bedell fan club walking by.
Yeah.
But when you look at all that stuff, it's like, had we beat South Florida, which I think you could argue a couple things go the other way. Like, where are we today? Like, we're probably in the pool with Memphis, and up till today, we're ahead of everybody, right?
Yeah.
Now, I realize the reality, we did not beat South Florida. But I'm just saying, if we had, what's the difference? And I understand, like, the CFP, in all likelihood, off the table, but winning the conference championship, not at all.
Yeah,
no, not at all.
Yeah, you control your own destiny at the end of the day. And now, if Madsen's not healthy, Cutfort's got 2 weeks repping with the ones, which I don't think a lot of fans realize how big of a deal that is. Being a backup quarterback, getting to rep with the ones as opposed to coming in cold. Like, he may come in and look totally different in 2 weeks because he's had 2 weeks to rep with the ones if he ends up going. So they control their own destiny. Boise State fans won't want to hear it. Again, in terms of the Mountain West, this game doesn't change anything.
So I'm gonna because I have to use the bathroom, and hold on. I got one for you, Rid, because I'm gonna use the bathroom because this is going too long. Hey, how about this one? Does Boise State? So what's a good season? Is conference titles where it is, or if we go to the CFP? So where are we basing? Where is
what is the standard?
What is the standard? Because at the end of the day, if you don't win a conference title, you're nothing.
Yeah. Well, and that's
right.
Keep going.
So okay, I wanted to highlight this one quote from Marco Notriani at the press conference. Says we shot ourselves in the foot, didn't really give ourselves a chance, had too many penalties, and needed more guys to step up and make plays. Which I think is fair.
That guy is a stud,
no doubt.
Good football player.
And
I'm a huge fan of him.
My choice is to let him speak on that, not me.
Yeah, and I think it's fair. I think it's a fair comment.
Go back. There was a great one here.
All right, we're looking for a specific comment here. We got a lot of comments. I don't know if we're going to find it.
There we go.
Bring Pete on as an analyst, Harson back as OC, Kurt head coach.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
2 of the guys are retired. One's been there, done that. Like, yep.
My favorite part is increase the NIL budget. Like it's a button that you press.
Yes.
To just go up.
That is my favorite, and that tells me as much as anything.
All right. Well, while Brad's in the restroom, thanks guys again. Continue to get your comment. A lot of great comments. I should say a lot of comments in the ICCU chat here on the Jackson's Postgame Show.
We've had one and made it.
Yeah. So I'll say this: Spencer Danielson and his staff set the standard when they crossed out win a bowl game and win a CFP game.
I agree.
Now I'll say this:
so is there a difference between goal and standard?
I think so.
So theirs is a goal.
That's the goal,
right? So So everybody says that's the standard. I mean, I would argue that that's the goal every year. If you don't reach your goal, then you got to reevaluate and all that stuff. But I've never heard that was the standard.
And this, look, if your down year ends up being a Mountain West championship, but most schools don't have that as their high points, right? So there's
1,000%. 1,000%.
It's a great time. The team gives themselves 24 hours to celebrate. As a fan base, give yourself 24 hours to be pissed, to be annoyed. But really, truly, at the end of the day, coming into this game, absolute ceiling was you get some help and maybe go to the CFP. But all you can control was host and win the Mountain West. And after the loss, still, all you can do is host and win the Mountain West. And that is still in front of you. Guys, continue to stick around. We are going to have BJ come on later. We'll have post-game interviews with Spencer Danielson, with Marco Notriani, with, I'm sure, an offensive player as well. We had some voicemails come in during the game, as I'm sure you're shocked to find out. A couple of people had some thoughts. Oh, man, we've got a lot of voicemails in here for you guys. So we're going to get to...
I'd be scared to play any of those.
We're going to get to a couple of these voicemails to hear what you guys had to say, what your guys' thoughts were. So we're going to start with Tyson, maybe the illustrious Tyson Dagenhart. We'll see, but here's what Tyson had to say.
BJ, Tyson from Lewiston here. Just about going into halftime. Opposing quarterback is 5 for 13 for 11 yards, and we are losing. I have some shocking development. We had a personal foul that we were going to get off the field on defense, and they went and scored a touchdown off of it. Shocker. I don't know if I've seen that this year.
All right, so I think Tyson does bring up an interesting, discussion point. The penalties. He talked about in the first half, there's a personal foul, extends a drive, ends up leading to a Fresno State touchdown. It's the reason the game is 10-7 at halftime and not 10-3 or 10-6. You guys have coached before. What do you make of the penalties? It's been a recurring issue this season. Bad personal fouls, false starts. I mean, we had receivers getting back-to-back false starts tonight. How do you fix it? Is it a coaching point? Is it just get new guys in there who aren't making mental errors? Where does it get cleaned up at?
Receivers watch the ball, so that's good. So we're good there.
Yeah, I played high school receiver.
Yeah.
And even the high school coach said, if you ever get a false start, you're coming out of the game.
Just watch the ball.
Yeah.
Did he not watch the South Florida game? I mean, this is not, and it's been fixed, or it's not reoccurred for a while.
Right.
Tonight, it reoccurred. And one of them, I remember, Rid, you and I was like, one of them was ticky-tacky.
The roughing the passer on Braxton Feely.
Yeah,
that's the one you're referring to.
Yeah, that was the first half one.
Yeah, I thought that one was
like
pretty.
To me, roughing there's difference between throwing the guy down after the play and some of the roughing the passer.
Give him a shove.
I would like to know how many of these people that are complaining about that when it's NFL and the guy barely hits you. I mean, I don't think you can. Some of those are going to happen.
I mean, it can't happen.
The unsportsmanlike in the second half, that shouldn't have happened. That's the one I said, total frustration penalty.
Yeah.
Like maybe it changes the score of the game. Probably doesn't change the outcome.
I agree.
Yeah.
But the first half one, eventually he's got to know when to let up. And you're asking that
I'm just saying,
a young man that is one step too many, hit flat.
I'm just saying, like, to me, I thought that was not a penalty, but sometimes they get called penalties.
But I think this is my problem. And this is my whole problem with officiating. And you're going to look at it tonight in the SEC. That's a joke. Anyways, for one group, that's probably not unsportsmanlike or not a penalty.
Right.
But the other group, it is. So in the NFL, roughing the passer is if he takes 2 steps to hit the quarterback. They've defined it. I don't think they've defined it very well in college football with the whole overlap umbrella of college football. It goes to certain groups. And these guys are like, they get judged.
You land on him. You don't land on him.
I disagree with it, but it happened. It can't happen any further.
And this is where it's just kind of my philosophy on it. Sometimes there are penalties that you live with. first half, Dalen Matoyer gets a holding because he's taking a guy to the ground. That's going to happen in the spirit of a game. The roughing the passer, I didn't think it was a penalty. It'll happen. It's the false starts on the offense.
Right.
It's
Those
the
are the ones.
unsportsmanlike
Pre-snap penalties.
The pre-snap and then the unsportsmanlike conducts that continue to kill this team. And look, the first people talked about the offense was horrible with Maddox. The first two drives, I think it was the second drive of the game, they were in 1st and 30 right away. So you get a holding, and then Latrell Caples has back-to-back false starts, which again, I don't think I've ever seen a receiver have back-to-back false starts. There's penalties I think you can live with. There's some that you can't. And
the pre-snap penalties, offensive linemen, you're going to kind of get them to get the jump on a pass rusher. And this is my bias. Like,
I'll be honest,
I'm a bias.
the second one on Latrell, I didn't even kind of see.
I was in the stadium, so I don't get to see any of them.
I'm with you. I didn't see it either.
I mean, the first one he flinched. The second one, same thing. Like I
didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
I don't think a receiver should have a false start.
Yeah,
I would agree with
fair.
that, but it wasn't like a flinch.
No, he didn't even drop to explode through. He just got
that's why I
like,
thought it was like
cool.
Yeah.
But then again, I looked at Latrell after that penalty, and he was just like, so he didn't go like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, usually get body language.
Like he gave out like that.
It was almost like, I watched him, and he was like,
all right, let's hear another voicemail here from Jesse. Jesse, you can leave a voicemail at speakpipe.com/BNN. Believe what it is. Jesse, your voicemail.
Boise State fans, we got to step up the NIL game, man. I'm sorry, but you all got to chip in. We all got to. We're not the big teams like these other teams. We don't have all these big companies. We don't have all these people supporting us for the NIL fund. The only way we're going to stay competitive is chipping in. So y'all got to do your part. I'm sorry, but I'm calling you all out. This is ridiculous. You want the changes to happen? You want to get these players? Then we got to chip in.
All right, Jesse says, Bronco Nation, chip in. The NIL, it's not there. Everyone's got to do their part. Everyone's got to chip in. I'll say this.
So I would say this. I would say Boise State is managing their NIL way better than most.
Agreed.
Oh, in the group of five.
Yeah, I'm saying managing, not have enough money.
Okay,
they could go
like the staff doing with what they have.
If you look at the money we have versus the players we are retaining more than recruiting, like we could have lost a lot of players.
I'm with you there.
Like, so I agree with him. Like, give them more, let them go get others. They'll figure it out.
Hey, okay. I'm sitting here talking to you jackasses and this guy behind the scenes because I don't agree with what's going on. But
Neither do I, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. So let's go. It is what it is, right? So let's do this. If Boise State, imagine if Boise State got a hold of $10 million.
Oh, if we had the full 18 that everybody else is paying out,
and you got the 22.3 that can do what really is collective bargaining. It's sharing, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you guys understand out there of what you can really go get. Texas Tech is a great example. We talked about quarterbacks, right? So let's say you had $250,000 to pay that quarterback. You can go get your FCS quarterback, right?
Right.
You can go get the corner that you guys didn't really want, right? So this is my whole thing.
How much is
this is going to be
Baker paying his two corners?
More money.
At least $500,000 apiece.
I haven't said this. There is an individual at a university that I once coached for, $250,000, brand new Hellcat, and mom's going to fly in a G5 to every away game. That's what it costs. I'm not asking for that here. What I am saying is this. the AD has really done a phenomenal job of raising money. The issue with this is you have to have a decision. That stadium, the end zone, needed to be done, so that money had to go there. There's some things with money that you just donate, and if you want to give the players the money, you donate the money. And with the new NCAA rule, getting away from the collectives, right? Because now the player has to be attached to such and such university or such and such company to be a spokesman. Jackson's is a great example. Jackson's is doing what's right within the NCAA, right? Caples, they put a face with a brand, right? Back other places are just giving them $250,000 ago. You don't have to show up for anything. And that's going to tangent. But I'll tell you this right now.
Those deals are getting denied at the clearinghouse.
Which
and the old way of talking about this, like, right, Rid, you've been a part of Fiesta Bowls. Yep. You've been a part of beating Oklahoma. You've been a part of beating TCU, the big time games. Now they're just buying the roster. So that and the other thing is this. To be competitive of where you're going, and everybody wants to see Boise at the upper echelon of college football. I want to see Boise State at the upper echelon of college football. You've got to pay the money.
Yeah.
And that money can't come from Simplot, Micron, you. It's got to come from $1,000 donation.
Or we need a billionaire like Texas Tech.
You need a billionaire.
Yeah.
You need an LSU guy who the governor steps in and says, yeah, you're firing him. And by the way, we're not going to use state funds to buy him out. So then he calls his boy, and the guy goes, yeah, I got $40 million for him. But you need that to be consistently competitive to buy a roster.
So some breaking news. Spencer Danielson on Maddox Madsen said, quote, I think it's going to be a while. Later added, I believe in Max as their quarterback. So it sounds like Maddox Madsen going to be a while. Not back soon. You got a taste of what the offense can look like under Max Cutforth again.
I don't know that we did.
I think there's a taste of it, but I don't think it's necessarily the meal.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you have a chance to get reps with the ones,
exactly.
you can look a lot better. But yeah, Max Cutforth going. It sounds like to be the guy going forwards. Now, you guys having coached. Max won the QB2 job in the offseason. Not even to overreact to this game, but now that Maddox is hurt, with a full bye week, to Spencer say, hey, competition's back open again. We want to give you guys, we want to let you guys battle
always
for it.
open.
Okay.
Always open. So if they feel like Caleb gives them a better chance than Max, that's what they'll do. But yeah, I'll believe Maddox is out for extended period when Maddox is out for extended period.
All right.
I hope he's not, because I love the kid. I think they got to look at now you're going to look at a different quarterback, what his strengths, what his weaknesses are.
You know what they should do? They should do like the Bengals and go trade for a veteran backup.
I think they should go to,
that's won a Super Bowl.
Do you know that, not that exact thing happened, but TJ Finley signed with Georgia State 3 weeks into the season?
Oh, you brought up a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to shove this microphone up your ass.
No, that happened. I'm saying that they actually went 3 weeks into the season and got a quarterback at Georgia State.
Brad, do you feel like TJ Finley will help that team win?
I'd rather take a shit on this deck.
He has not. He has not helped them win. I'm not saying Boise State should. I'm just saying you making the comment about going and get a guy. Some programs are doing that.
I just know you hit a hot button.
Yeah. Danielson says
he was a 5-star though.
Maddox,
he was a 5-star.
That's right. I forgot TJ Finley was there at Auburn. He's been so many places now that I forgot that he was at Auburn.
I don't know if you know that. He was 5-star.
I was not a 5-star. I wish I was.
Maddox was in there for 2 drives, so Danielson said this. Maddox was in there for 2 drives, and we didn't do anything, but that's not why we lost the football game. We didn't execute in all 3 phases. Which, again, I think is fair. We talked some about what the defense needed to do better. Special teams has a kick blocked. Again, another special teams blunder. I guess for Bronco Nation, more concerned about the offense and what's happened there. Haven't had a lot of talk about that. Danielson also says we didn't stop the run on defense, and then we couldn't establish a run game at all on offense, which I think is fair. I did not think that the running game on offense looked great, and then likewise, I think defensively, when you lose to a quarterback,
so you're telling me a head coach finally gets in front of a podium and takes we didn't do anything right, rather than say, hey, I thought he would say it's on me, and I thought it was like this. The other old crock and Mamie said, I'm the head coach. I got to dive on this sword. No, I like it. We didn't do this. We didn't do this. We got to get better. And I hope the players are in the locker room.
I thought the run game even, I thought unfortunate hold call when they ripped one out big.
The first quarter?
Yeah. Didn't make a safety miss a couple times. I mean,
well, they're going to get that now. So if you really want to fast forward, so now, if you're a defensive coordinator, and if there was one sitting right here, which we can muster one up, now you're looking at man-to-man load the box. So now it's going to be on the running backs. Now you're looking at the Ashton Genty of last year to load the box to make. Now you make a safety miss, you're gone. And so now you're about to see how good your running backs really are.
And I do keep coming back to, I think the unsung, domino of this game that led it to be a blowout is no Ben Ford, no Chris Marshall. You're down probably two of your best separators.
Chris Marshall will be here going forward.
He'll be here going forward. Yeah, just saying this game in particular, it makes life tougher on Max Cutforth because now you're right. Fresno State can load the box, and they're worrying about your fourth and fifth best receivers out there, not two guys who have been fairly productive this season.
But when it comes to the passing game, Rid, and you're better at this than I am, you can scheme guys open, right? If they're playing man-run mesh.
Yeah, I always thought that. That's one thing going back to Coach Pete. There's always ways to get guys open.
Correct.
Now, I mean, I'm trying to think if we ever had anybody that was good enough to get the true double coverage. That's
right.
That's always the
part of the issue. You guys had too many guys. If you double cover one guy, you're leaving.
I mean, if you double cover John Hightower, Shaq was going to kill you.
Yeah, but in the run game, it's there's only so many we can block. They've got 7, we got 6. You better read something.
Yeah.
Now the question is now is the read game out because now you got to be a little sensitive because you got your backup quarterback and who's 3.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that
in general they should just throw a bubble screen.
Huh?
Just throw the bubble.
They tried that and Capels didn't block it very well.
Yeah, they did throw one that would. I made a comment. It was probably the worst 3-play stretch of Capels' careers because that was back-to-back false starts and then blows the block on the swing pass. Which, look, I mean, fans have been asking, where's the bubble screens? Where's the wide receiver screens? It's not a part of the offense.
But if they ran too many of them, we don't. It's like the old thing, run up the middle. We run up the middle too much with Ashton Genty, who is a Heisman finalist. They're tired of that.
Yeah,
now,
I believe in 13 the year before I got here was all we do is throw bubble screens.
I believe Tim Plow took some heat on the wide receiver screens.
Yeah, he did. And, even like the 2016 team threw a ton of bubble screens to Cedric Wilson and Thomas Spurbeck, and this team doesn't have a Cedric Wilson, right?
Or a Thomas Spurbeck.
Or a Thomas Spurbeck. Most underrated receiver in Boise State history for my money.
Had a nice cold beer with him today.
Yeah.
Phenomenal human being.
Some other comments. We had somebody ask a question, how hard is it to put together a Wildcat package and run some of that in 2 weeks? I mean, is that something where you can throw Sire Gaines back there, Dylan Riley on a sweep?
Just go to the clap cadence and you're going to be perfectly fine.
All depends on if they know the snap count.
Work on it. Yes, you can get that done.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure they actually have something like that. But the chances of running that for the whole game and catching them off guard and winning.
No, I'm not saying whole game. Yeah,
no.
This isn't the 2007 Miami Dolphins. We're not at that point yet.
Well, Baylor. Yeah. Baylor did it.
You are Rain Man.
They're in Wildcat.
Baylor did it in a bowl game.
They didn't have another quarterback. It was versus North Carolina in Charlotte. I watched that game. Yeah, we did a lot of it.
But my point being, I just think that's probably over these days.
You just gotta learn the cadence. Old line's important.
All right, B.J. Rains, press conference over. He's on his way over to the James. Said Danielson's comments were very strong, and he's gonna get him on. We'll play him shortly, but didn't mince words. And look, when you lose 30-7, you need some strong comments. You need some strong words.
Thank God BJ's coming over.
Yeah. Hey, look, I mean, in my mind, that game's like a 17-7 game. I mean, I'm not saying we win the game, but it didn't have to be 37. Like, we took some chances trying to win the game that, I mean, if we just wanted to get out and lose, we certainly could have at 17.
Yeah, I mean, from a statistics standpoint, like yards per play, total yards, first, like a lot of those look very similar. I think the difference ended up being Boise State had 3 turnovers. Yeah. Fresno State scores off those turnovers. Conversely, Fresno State doesn't turn the ball over.
It's almost opposite in Nevada. Like Nevada turned the ball over 5 times. Boise didn't score off of it. Now you come out here, Boise turns the ball over. Fresno took advantage of it.
Yeah,
it's almost opposite of what we predicted.
Yeah, and look to the fans who are upset by the Nevada game. You know, they got really
pissed now.
They're going to be really upset about it now. We'll put it that way.
They got their chance to be right.
Yeah, at the expense of a loss. So we did have a couple other voicemails. Let's hear from Merritt again. Stick around. BJ Rain's coming.
You've like previewed these.
Yes, I believe so. I believe Kanan has previewed these. Yeah, we try to check them and make sure that there's nothing too dangerous. All right, Merritt, what do you have to say?
Maybe I should say I hope you didn't.
Win or lose, I'm a sports fan. I'm a Boise State Bronco fan. But when you watch a game like this, it's not even entertaining. It's an embarrassment to the program. They got to figure it out.
Said it's an embarrassment to the program. Got to figure it out. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, you guys, I'm sure in coaching, I don't have your exact resume in front of me.
No. So in 2000, the 2000 team that was honored before the game today, they went 10-2, 10-2. Hawk came in. First game we went to South Carolina and lost. And it was a tighter game. I mean, a little bit like this one. Like, they probably could have won by more. We hung in there. Next game, played Washington State at home and got the break speed off us. I don't even remember what the score was. It might have been 49-3, 49-7, like something really bad. And then we rattled off 70 consecutive home. You know better.
Oh, I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Until TCU and
TCU in 11.
Yeah,
I think it would have been. I was at that game, first ever Boise State game I went to.
So however many games it was consecutive. I mean,
it was 60 or 58 maybe. I'm sure someone in the comments has
somebody
it.
will have it.
But yeah, I don't care. Every loss is embarrassing in my opinion.
Well, and that's what you lose 30-7. Is it that much worse than losing 30-28?
No.
Like
you lost. You lost.
In the standings, it's the same.
You lost.
So talk about it being in a.
I think what people are feeling today is like somewhere in the third quarter, it probably felt like we're not going to pull this out. I felt like we're going to get it together and we're going to get a break and something's going to happen and it didn't. And is it frustrating? Yeah.
What was the moment for you tonight that you thought, all right, this one's probably over, barring absolute miracle?
I mean, probably the
touchdown score in the end of the third quarter.
That to go up 24-7.
Yeah, that was probably
just because offense wasn't functioning. There's no hope. I mean,
my moment, it was the interception that led to that. I was like, oh boy, they need to get a stop here. And then when they scored that touchdown to go up 3 scores.
When it was 17 coming out at half, I thought that first possession they needed points.
I mean, you were deep into the third quarter. You're like, all right, we're going to need a turnover.
It was reachable. But when they scored late in the third, I was like, possessions, they needed a couple of turnovers to get back. And I just thought possessions, you needed something to happen possession-wise to score quickly, to steal a possession.
Yeah.
And it didn't show to steal a possession.
And this is where I'll give a ton of credit to Fresno and their staff. They protected that offense. They game planned that second half to say, we are not going to let you make a mistake.
We'd be remiss not to give them credit.
Oh, they should. They get all the credit in the world.
Those guys, they knew what they had to do.
Yeah,
to make sure they won.
Boise State handed them a bag of money, said take the win, and they took it and they ran with it, which is it's harder than it looks like to do in college football.
I will feel this way forever, but if Maddox hangs in there, like we eventually get the rhythm on offense and win the game. He didn't. We had to reset, and they took advantage of that, and we never got the rhythm with the backup quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think in terms of now this one, how familiar are you guys with net success rate? I know some of our audience is familiar with net success rate. It's essentially how close was the game on a down-to-down basis. Fresno State was +2 in net success rate, which typically tells you pretty much a coin flip type game. The difference was the turnovers. Fresno scored off the turnovers. Boise State did not. And that's your ball game.
Yeah.
And didn't get any. Weren't able to do it. And look, it's there's no sugarcoating a 30-7 loss. That's
I'm
not
guessing
what we're doing here.
Fresno, their deal was if we can go in there and not turn the ball over and limit these guys' big plays, which we had virtually none, we'll have a chance.
Well, hey, can I please quote one of the fine human beings to ever walk around here? Winston Venables.
Very own BNN's own Winston Venable.
Hey, gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit? There's only one thing left is to win the whole effing thing. I'll tell you, Winston is a man of many words.
No doubt.
And he summed it up the greatest thing of all time.
I'll say this, though. I'm a Mariners fan, and Cal Raleigh said that, and then they did not go win the whole thing. So here's the hope.
I was cheering harder for the Mariners than just about everybody, and I say just about because I am not a lifelong Mariners fan, but my son's girlfriend and proud Jackson's part of that deal works for the Mariners, and I was dying. Like that hurt as bad as anything.
Yeah.
So
one thing I will mention, you talked about Fresno State had a game plan. Don't make mistakes. Like try to let Boise State beat themselves. Very first drive of the game, 70-yard pass, which was a beautiful pass from Maddox to Cam Bates, gets dropped. You're looking instead of 7 points, 70-yard touchdown. I mean, from your guys' perspective, how different does this game look? Even if Maddox does still get hurt, at least you're up 7-0 at the start of the game, and you're forcing Fresno to press just a little bit.
Maddox might not get hurt because now they're
the whole game plan changes.
Right.
You're playing from
different.
ahead. When you start playing from ahead, things change.
And flip side for the defense, especially when they're the underdog,
you can get more aggressive.
The worst thing you ever do is give an underdog a chance.
I agree. They came out and they bit. They were the underdog and they bit.
Yeah, and it did what they had to do. Did what they had to do to be able to pull off an upset. Now I know we saw BJ's here. He'll be on soon. He'll have interviews with Spencer Danielson, Marco Notriani. I'm sure probably a second player interviewed as well. Let's send it to a quick 2-minute commercial, and when we come back, we'll have BJ Rains on and switch up the show a little bit here.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place? The taco place? Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
All right, Bronco Nation news. Coming off, Boise State lost 30-7 to Fresno State.
It's not a funeral.
It's not a funeral. It is not. We are not wearing black. The team was wearing black, I guess. All right, we'll give you guys 60 seconds. Then we're going to go hear from Spencer Danielson, his post-game press conference thoughts. Just final thoughts. Kent, thoughts on the game, thoughts on the rest of the season going forward.
Yeah, not the end of the world. Like, let's move forward. We'll try and get guys healthy. Maddox included in that. But I'm excited to see where this team goes. Still got everything in front of us.
There you go. Brad, any final thoughts?
Stings. Should sting. It's going to sting for a minute, but I'm a firm believer in this. You got a bye week, and you can't go into San Diego State and let a bad loss hurt you twice.
Yep.
And that's what it comes down to. When you look at this, you got everything in front of you, run the table, win a third conference title.
And I assume San Diego State will probably take us lightly now because we lost. So.
Yeah, and
that's what I think. I think they're going to be fine. I think the one thing is, I would say this, for all the negative, and Red, you said, the sun's going to rise tomorrow. The kids, the program, everything counts. They need you at Colorado State, here at home in the blue. And they need your support. And until if a true fan's going to support them when they're down, just like they support them when they're riding high. And they need that. And it should sting to everybody, and it does.
Yeah, and I'll just echo this. Realistic ceiling, like there was a small path to the CFP, but coming into today, hey, take care of business. You can host the Mountain West Championship, win the Mountain West Championship.
Title. Just win a conference title.
And that's still on the table.
Nothing helps. Nothing ever happens till that happens.
Yes.
And we're not – Boise's not built. If everybody's sitting here that Boise's going to go to the conference title or the CFP every year, dude, stop smoking dope. Okay, stop. Just stop.
Maybe
Support
the hard
the
stuff.
kids and let's roll.
Maybe the hard
there
stuff.
You go. All right, let's
stop doing heroin, fentanyl, whatever.
All right, Brad, Kent, appreciate you guys as always here on the Jackson's Postgame Show. Let's hear from Spencer Danielson, his postgame thoughts, and then we'll have B.J. Rains come on and join us immediately afterwards.
Good.
Well, as always, appreciate you guys' time covering our team, and win or loss, painful moments, happy moments, still give God the glory. Thank you, Jesus, for an opportunity to coach this team, man. And I believe God never says, oops, this hurts. And first off, I want to talk to Bronco Nation. I truly apologize for the product that they watched today. They save their money. They find a way to come out and support our team. And what they watched today was not the standard. And I apologize to all the families and people that found a way to pack that stadium out and stayed the entire game, was loud the entire game, and we did not play to the standard that they deserve. And I coach to get that fixed, and should have never happened in the first place. It was my job to get it fixed. So Bronco Nation, I'm so thankful for you. I don't take you for granted. We haven't lost at home in a while. And seeing another team come in here and celebrate on the blue after kicking our tails hurts and is painful, and it needs to be. And it needs to be for me, it needs to be for our staff, it needs to be for our players. And we do not take it lightly. It's not something that we run from one bit, and it's something that we gotta get fixed really, really quick. So in regards to the game, we didn't execute in all three phases, had every opportunity to win the game. Hats off to Coach Entz and Fresno State, though. They came in here and kicked our tails in all three phases. They kicked our tails, and they absolutely earned the right to beat us at home, and hats off to them. In regards to us, we got a lot of work to do in all three phases. And it's not because our starting quarterback goes out early in the game. Yes, that happened. That's adversity, but it's next man up, carry the flag. And we didn't execute enough at all positions on offense to be successful tonight. And we had a Fresno State offense that we were doing a good job against, but then established a run game that we didn't stop. I mean, they ran the ball right down the middle of our defense consistently in the second half of that game, and that cannot happen. I don't care, on the road, at home, you cannot have a team rush for almost 200 yards against you and be successful defensively, period, end of story. Special teams-wise, we flat out just don't do our technique up front in our field goal unit. We get a kick blocked. Can't happen. So when we practice, we got to look at who we're having in those roles. We got to look at what we're making sure we're focused on the right things in practice, because it's something we've done a good job with, and those are critical points in the game that we got to make sure we get that fixed. So in all three phases, we got our tails kicked today. And it's on me as a head coach. I love this team. I love our staff. And the product tonight breaks my heart that that's what we put out there for Bronco Nation. And we got to get it fixed. Still have everything in front of us. We're a one-loss team in the Mountain West that has to find a way to improve and grow in this bye week. Obviously, you don't love going to bye week with a loss. You don't love a loss regardless. But we knew off a 7-game stretch without a bye week that this was going to be a grind. And we just went out and flat out didn't execute today. Didn't play with the energy and juice that we needed to. And that's on me. And that's absolutely on me. I thought our prep was really good this week, but obviously it wasn't good enough. And I got to look and see where we missed it as a staff to put our players in really good spots. Because it's a great team. I love this team. I love our staff. But my heart is broken for the product that was on the field today.
What are you expecting to have to go with Max moving forward? Or?
Yeah, we're going to continue to look at what happened with Max. I think it's going to be a while from what I initially saw. We'll give you guys an update on Monday or whenever to give you guys more clarity. But he's an absolute warrior. He's been banging through an ankle injury all year, practicing a little bit, pulling him from stuff to keep him healthy so he can go out there and battle to help his team, because he's a competitor. Elite competitor that doesn't think about himself. He cares about the team. But I think it's going to be a while. I don't know. Jason Steele's another one. I think that one could be a while too. We'll see from the initial conversation with me and our trainers. Obviously, we got to continue to look at all the imaging and all that, and we'll see who else is banged up. And we got to get guys healthy in the bye week. We got to work. We got to get some stuff fixed in all three phases, because we got enough to win games, and we had enough tonight, and we didn't, or this afternoon, and we didn't execute.
From your understanding, is this a re-aggravation of something from whatever happened in the Air Force game, or something more recently? Or
I don't think so from what it was initially told to me. Obviously, it's something a little bit different, but we'll see. I'm sure it had something to do with the injury he was battling prior, but from what I was told, this is something different, and so we got to walk that path.
You mentioned Maddox being in and out of practice various times in the last few months. How prepared do you think Max Cutforth was for that moment today, having to go into a game like that?
Yeah, I know just watching practice. I mean, Max gets a ton of reps. Coach Hill does a phenomenal job with him. He does a good job in practice. He preps the right way. Obviously, he didn't play extremely well tonight, but this isn't on Max, right? Did he play perfect? No, there's some things that Max needs to do better, but this is on our entire team. All parts of our offense we didn't execute well tonight, from our tight ends to our O-line to our receivers to our quarterback. On the flip side, defensively, we didn't execute the way we needed to, special teams-wise. So this is not on Max. Max made some good plays. There's going to be some things on film that watching live, and I know that we got to be better at, and we will be.
Is he clearly the guy if Maddox is out, or is there any kind of competition there with Caleb still?
We'll look at it, BJ. I mean, right now, I believe in Max. I really do. Obviously, Caleb's going to keep competing, and we got to look at ways to be able to move the ball offensively. And we've got who we got. And if guys aren't able to be healthy and play, then we got to find a way as a coaching staff to put our players in situations to move the ball and create explosive plays and create touchdowns. We couldn't do that efficiently at all. We had multiple opportunities where it was 3rd and XL, 4th and XL, and we got to punt the ball in a critical game. So we're going to continue to look at it. I mean, the best players will play always, but I believe in Max. Max does a great job in practice. There's some things he did well tonight. Obviously, there's some things he didn't. But that's for every player on our team. Starters on O and D that didn't play their best tonight. Was it a lack of focus? Was it too much emotion? I don't know. I got to look at it with our staff. I really felt like we had a great week of prep, but we missed something. I mean, there's a reason why we go out and play the way we did tonight and got our tails kicked at home. There's a reason. Hats off to Fresno State. They earned the right to get the victory, but there's a reason, and we got to look at why.
Spencer, obviously, last few weeks you've hinted at it. Marco was talking about Maddox and what he's gone through, just try to stay on the field, and clearly he's a guy that you got to rip off the field. How is he doing right now? I mean, have you had time to talk to him?
Yeah, he's in it. As a competitor, he's in as good a place as he can be right now. I mean, he was great with his team on the sideline, even on crutches and with a boot on. But he was cheering on his team, bringing juice on the sideline. That's uncommon for a competitor that's given everything and still gets the game ripped from him. So he was great. I mean, but that's who he is. He's a selfless kid that loves his team. I don't know how long it's going to be. I think it could be a little bit, but we need every bit of Maddox, even in regards to his leadership, even if he's not out there. Like I said, I believe in Max. I believe in Caleb too. But right now, Max our guy, and we got to go find a way to win football games with Max, and that's our job as coaches. And we got more than enough weapons on offense to create explosive plays where it's not all on Max. On the flip side, we got to play elite defense. That's a standard here. We did not tonight. We played really good at times in this game, and then we got worn down, and that can't happen. There's no excuse. No excuse for a team to rush for almost 200 yards against us, period, point blank.
I know you're not blaming this game on Maddox getting injured and everything else, but just how tough is it when your starting quarterback goes out in a rivalry game like this?
Yeah, I mean, regardless what game you're in, when your starting quarterback gets hurt, that's adversity, right? It's adversity. He's the starter for a reason, and obviously I think the world of Maddox. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks around, but it's next man up. I mean, there's no excuses. We did all three phases. We didn't play well enough to win this football game, and Maddox was in there for 2 drives. We didn't do anything offensively. So, yes, it hurts when your starting quarterback goes down. Is there a lack of momentum and some of those things in a football game when one of your best players gets hurt and can't play? Absolutely. But that is not why we lost this football game. We lost this football game because we didn't execute in all 3 phases, and that is on me.
Penalties reared their head again.
Yep.
You had drop passes. Just what kind of were the struggles between those self-inflicted wounds?
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster, and it's something that some games we've done much better with it, and some days we haven't. Today we didn't. I mean, we had a couple pre-snap penalties on receivers to start the game, right? Can't happen. Can't happen. Can't happen in a position, but can't happen, especially at receiver. And then we had some personal foul penalties. Some of them watching the film on the iPad, maybe I don't agree with it, or I do. It happens, and too many. I mean, we got a rough in the passer. We got a late hit out of bounds. We got a late one on Amarion. So we got to look at it. I got to continue to watch the film to see what we're missing, because penalties kill you because it shows a lack of discipline, and we got to get fixed.
And what were the struggles in the run game? I mean, it's particularly in the second half. I think -5 rushing yards in the second half for you guys.
Yeah. Well, both sides of the ball. I mean, we didn't stop the run on defense, and I got to look at that and see exactly what's happening. How a game goes, I don't get a lot of time to watch on the sideline and see, but we weren't able to stop the run really at all in the second half. And then offensively, we couldn't establish a run game at all throughout the game. I don't know what our total rush yards were, but it wasn't good. And it doesn't matter who. For us, we're built to run the football. That's what we do. We run the football, and off that comes our pass game. And if we can't establish a run game, it's going to be really tough sledding for us offensively, regardless who our quarterback is. So got to look at it. Got to see what is it from up front to our tight ends to our running backs to the schemes we're installing and playing. We got to be way better.
I know this might seem like another excuse question, but like I know you guys practice a ton, but you like your lineup out there, you're missing half your starters from the season opener. Mm-hmm. 2 of your top 3 receivers are out. Your backup left guard in, your backup center in, your backup quarterback in. I mean, like, how often have you ran out that rotation probably in the last 3 months? Like, I mean, it just seemed like a pretty unique circumstance.
Yeah, Jay. I mean, it's next man up, carry the flag. I mean, it's hard, but I mean, yeah, we've had a bunch of injuries, and got to find a way to get guys healthy. Got to look and see how we can keep the guys that we got healthy to continue to finish this run. We had some guys out tonight, but it's still next man up, carry the flag. I mean, we have 109 guys on our team, and every single one of them are needed. Every single one of them are here for a reason. They've earned the right to be here. And if we put them on that field, there's a standard with which we are requiring them to play, and they've earned the right to play. And so everyone that was on that blue tonight from our perspective, earned the right to play. Now, they obviously didn't execute the way they need to, so we got to look at it. But it's not because we don't have enough. It's not because we don't have the right players here, the right coaches. We've got a bunch of guys hurt and that are out, and we got to look at it, and we're going to, as a staff, to see, okay, who are our best guys and where we put them in the right situation. Special teams, offense, defense, because it's next man up. You look across college football, there's no excuses. There's no, they lost, but I don't see any of that. And there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be. This is on us. We got our ass kicked in all three phases, and we got to find a way to be better.
All right, there is Spencer Danielson talking to the media. How we doing, folks? Welcome. My extended family, Bronco Nation News. How we doing? Sorry it took almost 90 minutes to get over here. We had post-game interviews, post-game press conference. Took a while for Spencer and the players, obviously, to get in there and talk, but they did, and we made it, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So I am not really in a huge hurry here. I know Kanan, my intern, is ready to leave, but I'm not ready to rush out of here right away. If you guys have any comments or thoughts still remaining on how you're doing, how you're feeling. I mean, Spencer Danielson summed it up pretty well right there. Got their asses kicked in all three phases, and I didn't think defensively they played terrible, but I thought obviously offensively was historically one of the worst games we've ever seen on the Blue. By the way, I am enjoying a Horseshoe Spirits rum and diet. Make sure you pick up your Horseshoe Spirits at the local liquor stores. They sell them here in town. We had their owner on a couple weeks ago, but a portion of the proceeds goes to benefit the athletes through the NIL fund through the Horseshoe Collective. So they got rum, whiskey, tequila. Not sure what you guys are drinking tonight, but I am having a rum and diet, and I'm going to get through this one with you guys. We got the World Series on as well. That's still 0-0, I believe. So I think there were some other football games. Don't know of any scores or upsets or anything, but yeah, that was some of the Twitter comments I got in the first half. We had some folks wanting to challenge me, all kinds of stuff, and so I was wanting a beverage, there in the second quarter as this thing started to go south. But we waited till the game ended, and here we are. So we'll get through this together, I guess, Bronco Nation. But historically, one of the worst games in the history on the Blue. The 193 yards of offense, the 9th worst in the entire history of this program. It was the 3rd worst in the FBS era. So you go back to 1996, only the 3rd time they've had 193 yards of offense. The 7 points they scored, the lowest ever in a Mountain West game for Boise State. So you're talking like 15 years of conference games, 7 points, the fewest they've ever had. They had 13 against San Diego State back, I believe, in 2018 in a loss. And then the 7 points also at home, the fewest points at home since they had 7 in the 7-6 win, I believe, against BYU back in 2012. And just all the numbers aren't good. Until a couple of late passes there by Max Cutforth, there was a time there where Boise State was the 2nd or 3rd fewest passing yards in program history as well. But Max Cutforth did complete a couple passes, which puts those numbers up. But just a disaster pretty much from start to finish. Even with Maddox Madsen in there, it didn't particularly go well. Obviously didn't get any better once Max Cutforth came in. The offense couldn't move the football, couldn't run the football, which was certainly a big problem. I mean, Malik Sherrod had that big run, the 44-yarder. You take that out, guys, the 44-yarder by Malik Sherrod. Boise State rushed for like 50 yards today, less than 50 yards, 47 yards rushing on 28 carries if you take out the one long run from Malik Sherrod. So he had 10 carries for 67 yards. But again, take out the 44-yarder, which I know it counts. His other 9 carries only went for 23 yards. Sire Gaines, 7 carries for 39 yards. And then Dylan Riley, not really sure what happened. Only 6 carries for Dylan Riley for 16 yards today. So the running game just not there. 91 total rushing yards, and that includes a 44-yard run. So Boise State unable to move the football on the ground. And when that's obviously happening, that's going to make things tougher through the air. And Boise State finishes with 102 passing yards. Maddox Madsen was -4 yards. He was 1 for 4. And then you had Cutforth coming in 14 for 29, just 106 yards and 1 touchdown. Did have 2 completions. One of them went off the hands of Matt Lauder. That was a throw that should have been caught. And that was one of the stories of the game. Just too many drops for the wide receivers in this game. The tight ends, 3, 4, 5 drops. Cam Bates right down the middle of the field would have been a 70-yard touchdown for Maddox Madsen early in the game. drops the ball, and then Boise State ends up having to punt. I mean, what's the narrative in this game if that play is made? There were some drops with both quarterbacks in there. I mentioned the one with Matt Lauder. I don't even know if they officially counted that as a drop, but it was a ball that I thought he could have caught. Ends up being intercepted right there. Just a couple of turnovers. Thanks, guys. A couple of turnovers, just some drops. Too many penalties, just really had trouble in all phases tonight. The penalty numbers, 9 penalties for 94 yards. Spencer said he didn't agree with all of them, as you heard there, but obviously some crucial ones. I thought the roughing the passer was kind of a weak call on Braxton Feely. There was an unsportsmanlike conduct, and they benched McCoy. There was a late hit out of bounds as well on somebody. There was just too many penalties. I mean, one time on offense, guys, there was a holding call, which negated like a 10-yard run for Boise State, so it's 1st and 20. Then, all of a sudden, they have a false start. It's 1st and 25. Oh, then another false start. All of a sudden, it's 1st and 30. 3 penalties in a row, and then they lose 4 yards on the next play, so it's 2nd and 34. I just thought it was too many self-inflicted wounds, the sins, as the Broncos call it, and you just can't win that way. When you have an inexperienced quarterback that's struggling to move the ball, you can't be going the wrong way with penalties and things, and their inability to run the football. Obviously, once the quarterback situation happened, Fresno State that knew they could make things tough in the running game, and certainly it just didn't work out tonight. So I'm not sure. I mean, like Spencer Danielson said, hey, we had 2 drives with Maddox Madsen in there, and we still didn't do anything. So I don't think you can solely say they lost this game because Maddox Madsen got hurt. But I think any reasonable fan watching this can now say, okay, maybe Maddox Madsen isn't the best quarterback in America, but he is the best option on this team for right now. And so I think that is the case. I know some fans were wanting Cutforth. The last couple weeks they were ripping on Madsen. I'm not taking anything away from Max Cutforth. I think he has a bright future here. I think maybe he could be a starter here. Who knows down the line? But I do think that it was pretty obvious today that Maddox Madsen is the better quarterback, and there's a reason he was playing in this game and has been playing all season long. So those of you that are big Maddox Madsen haters, I'm not going to say told you so, anything like that, but I think even the reasonable ones that thought they wanted to see Max Cutforth, thought maybe the wrong quarterback was being played. I just don't think you can look at that. And again, nothing against Max Cutforth. There are a lot of other reasons they lost this game. There were some key drops, but he had a couple times where he stayed in the pocket way too long and lost a fumble on one. There was another one where he stayed in the pocket way too long. Just you can obviously tell that he's a younger, more experienced quarterback. So I think you can say, hey, which is what we said. And I saw some of this on Twitter, but like we were saying all offseason, they got to find some depth. You got to find some quarterback depth. You got to find somebody that can come in and maybe not necessarily compete for the starting spot with Maddox Madsen, because that was going to be tough. Guys were not going to come in unless you overpaid them a lot of money to come in knowing the quarterback from last year started in the CFP and was, maybe the preseason All-Mountain West Player of the Year. So I don't think a lot, they tried, as you heard Brad say, but I don't think a lot of guys wanted to come in and be the backup here. With that said, we talked a lot about the fact that they needed to find some depth. And if Maddox Madsen went down, you were putting it in the hands of 2 very inexperienced quarterbacks that had little to no experience at Boise State. And go back and listen to our shows all off season. Again, not saying I'm right, this person's wrong, whatever. But I said all along, I thought quarterback depth was one of the biggest storylines of this team, and that they really missed on not going out and getting somebody else that could come in and compete at the quarterback position and at least be a guy with a little more experience, even a JUCO guy, someone that's just played a little bit, to come in if something would have happened to Maddox Madsen. Obviously that didn't happen. They couldn't find somebody, and you saw what happened tonight. And again, it's not really Maddox Madsen's great, Max Cutforth sucks. No, I'm not really what I'm saying at all. I just think Maddox Madsen clearly, we saw tonight, there's a reason the coaches know what they're doing. There's a reason that Maddox Madsen was the starter right now. If you want to argue they should have brought in more guys to compete with him in the offseason, I'm not going to disagree with you. That's a fair point. But in terms of right now, this offense, who's the best option? Anybody last week that was calling for Max Cutforth, I think you saw right now why Maddox Madsen's still in there. Now, looks like Max Cutforth is going to be the guy moving forward. So how do you tailor the offense to his strengths? You have a week to do that now, an extra week with the bye. How do you get the running game going? Certainly going to San Diego State now in 2 weeks. They're going to have to put a game plan together here that suits the strengths of Max Cutforth. We'll know this week. It doesn't sound like for sure that it's the season for Maddox Madsen, but he did say it's going to be a while. And so they'll get more x-rays and stuff, and we'll find out more down the road. But they've got to find a way to move the football on the ground. You got to find a way for these receivers to hang on to the football. Chris Marshall, hopefully coming back, will change some things. Obviously, Ben Ford is not going to come back, but they've got to find a way to move the football, and they're going to be doing that now with a backup quarterback back the rest of the season. So they have 2 weeks. We'll see if that helps. But certainly a dismal offensive performance tonight. Couldn't run the football, couldn't pass the football, had drops. We're going the wrong way. I mean, think about this, guys. Boise State finished with 94 yards in penalties. They had 91 rushing yards and 102 passing yards. So you literally almost had as many. You had more penalties than rushing yards tonight, and you had almost as many penalties as passing yards, 102 to 94. So Boise State finishing a game on the blue, a conference game with more penalty yards than rushing yards. That is pretty much impossible and hard to do, and that's just pretty bad, pretty embarrassing, to be honest. So with you, super rough game for Boise State. They lose. Spencer Danielson, as you heard, apologizing to the fans. Horrible game, a rough game, obviously, and fans were letting them hear it. I mean, there was a lot of loud boos, raining out throughout the second half when things weren't going well. So the defense did what they could. I mean, they held Fresno State to 224 yards. Boise State, you heard the stat from Jay Tust, had been 53-0 when allowing 225 yards or less. So the defense did enough for them to win. In fact, the defense, that performance has won them 53 straight games when the defense holds a team to 225 yards or less. Obviously, that streak is over now because the offense, 193 yards. It was statistically, folks, one of the worst games in the history of the Blue Turf when it comes to losing as a 17-point favorite. And not only do you lose as a 17-point favorite, you lose by 17 points. I mean, the reverse cover. Fresno State covers by 17 points when they were 17-point underdogs. So you're talking a 35-plus point swing in the point spread. I just didn't see it coming. And folks want to come on here and say, oh, you guys sugarcoated the offense all week after the Nevada game, and look what happened. No, I don't think we did. We said the offense wasn't good. We said Maddox Madsen wasn't good. We said things had to improve, but we said you got bailed out by the defense. You can kind of take a deep breath and say, okay, we won, but we also said it has to improve or it's not going to be pretty. It did not improve, and it got pretty. So a super frustrating game if you're a Boise State fan, all facets of the game. And you got to regroup, and you get the bye. A lot of guys injured. I mean, you look at the offense at one point in the game in the fourth quarter, guys, backup quarterback, 2 backup linemen, a couple backup receivers. I mean, it's not an excuse, but they're dealing with a lot, just dealing with a lot of injuries. And I know it's not an excuse. I do. But they really need this bye week to get some guys healed up, and we'll see what this team looks like. They do get the extra week to try to fix this offense and game plan around Max Cutforth. I did ask, and you heard about, is Caleb Annett going to get the factor in this competition, or is this Max Cutforth's team moving forward? And he said, hey, this is Max Cutforth's team right now, but obviously we're going to play the best guy and we'll evaluate things. But it did sound like really that they're going to go with Max Cutforth here moving forward. The Shohei Ohtani getting out of it, bases loaded jam. Shohei Ohtani gets out of the bases loaded jam, and we stay 0-0 in Game 7 of the World Series. So hopefully you guys are watching us on your phone. Maybe have that on mute, but going to the third inning, 0-0 in Game 7 of the World Series. So we're at 1 hour and 44 minutes, and we still have almost 200 of you watching on YouTube, over 3,000 total views on this show. So this is a record show for us. So we really appreciate it. We'll go on to the message boards. A lot of discussion will continue on there. You can subscribe to BroncoNationNews.com for $7 a month. Nathan Carroll's post-game comments, Mike Prater's post-game thoughts, Chris Van Sickle, mine, all kinds of post-game analysis. We'll get Marco Notriani's post-game interview up there. We'll get Chase Penry's post-game interview up there. So all kinds of post-game coverage coming. But my intern, Kanan, here wants to have a Saturday night, and we are at 1 hour and 45 minutes here. So we'll let you guys watch Game 7 of the World Series. Full post-game coverage coming at BroncoNationNews.com. We'll break it all down, and then Monday morning we'll play the rest of your voicemails, and we'll take all your comments as you'll have a couple 48 hours or so to sit on it, and we'll see if the sun comes up the next 2 days. So enjoy the extra hour of sleep. Try to enjoy the rest of your weekend if you can. Again, tough one for Boise State, falling 30-7 to Fresno State. Historically, one of the roughest games in the history of the Blue, statistically for Boise State. And they'll try to regroup against San Diego State. So a lot of things to discuss. We'll do it at 9 a.m. on Monday. We'll do it in the message boards at BroncoNationNews.com. Again, subscribe, $7, and you can read Mike Prater's thoughts, my thoughts, Nathan, Chris, everybody. And again, appreciate you guys for sticking with us. Hour and 45 minutes. You guys need to come to the James. We got Janice, the whole crew here hanging out. Always appreciate you guys coming to the James. You want to give us a comment here? You guys want to give us a comment? Come on. Give us one post-game comment here. You're a big fan. Come on. Tell Bronco Nation it's going to be all right here. This young lady right here is the one that started the Brad Bedell swear jar a year or two ago. It was putting in money for Brad Bedell's cuss words, but you're a big supporter of BNN. We truly appreciate it. And I know the sky's not falling for you.
No, I mean, when you've been a fan for this long, you know, highs and lows, and they come back. So, but thank you for being as patient with some of the fans. Some of the stuff that you have to put up with is amazing.
That's what they have to...
Horseshoe Collective, right?
Appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot for always coming up and hanging out, and hopefully there's a lot more wins left on the schedule for Boise State here. So appreciate you guys. They want us to play one more voicemail. Should we play one more voicemail? Let's play Jake. How about we play Jake's voicemail here? What do you got, Jake?
Hey, B.J. Jake, wondering with Coach Danielson's comments last week about the player is no longer a part of the team, what impact that had on the other teammates. Why would you say he's not part of the team? Why wouldn't you just say he's suspended or not going to play, but he's still going to be a part of the team? The language has always been in the past that no matter what, you're a part of the team. This just seemed to not have the intended consequences that Danielson wanted for not only the player, but the team as well.
All right, Jake, appreciate the voicemail there. Yeah, 1 game suspension. You're not even practicing. You're not around the team. We'll see you next Monday. That was a little bit different, I think, what we've heard in the past, but we also haven't had a lot of public suspensions and things told to us by Spencer Danielson. So not sure to read too much into that, Jake. We'll ask Spencer when we talk to him next, but that was the decision Spencer Danielson make. If that was a good one, a bad one, I don't know the answer to that. We'll have to find out. Let's go to we'll keep it going for a little bit more. How about Parker? What do you got, Parker?
Recording this while the game still isn't over, but unless some miracle happens, I don't see us winning the game. This team is not well coached. This team is extremely undisciplined, and that starts at the top. Last year, we had Eschenchenti, that godsend was able to cover so many flaws with this team. But when we played Penn State, it showed. We hung in that game, but we shot ourselves in the foot. And then against USF, and then against Notre Dame, and now against Fresno, Boise State can't beat a good team with a pulse because, unfortunately, they play against a good team, and then they also play against themselves. Spencer Danielson needs to reevaluate, needs a wake-up call. This is one of the most horrible coached teams because they have no discipline. Boise State is at the bottom of the entire FBS with penalties. They're not going to win against a good team because they're also playing against themselves. So I don't see us winning against San Diego, and I don't see us going to the conference championship because every team we play against, we also play against ourselves.
All right, appreciate the voicemail there. I mean, yeah, Spencer Danielson, he's got 2 conference championships. So, in terms of winning the big game, whatever, obviously didn't win some of the bigger games this season. But to lose the milk can, game, the rivalry game on the blue. I mean, let's not forget, Spencer Danielson had never lost on the blue. Boise State had won 16 straight home games on the blue. So to act like this is some big issue for Spencer Danielson losing on the blue, it's their first home loss under Spencer Danielson. So I'm not going to go too far with that. But in terms of losing, I'm in the press box watching the game while eating some popcorn. We don't know what was supposed to happen on a play. We don't know what did happen. There's a lot of things. It's very easy. And the coaches obviously deserve a lot of criticism for this game. When you come into a game as a 17-point favorite and you lose the way that Boise State did, it's very fair to criticize the coaches. And I think that, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. I think that I got no problem if you want to criticize the coaches for this game. There's a difference between losing a game and losing a game like that. Agree. I mean, you had boos. I mean, let's talk about. You haven't had this in a long time, guys. Fans booing on the Broncos on the blue. That just doesn't happen. It was a stunning performance from start to finish. I still think they win the game if Maddox Madsen's in at quarterback. I mean, I think that's I don't know if that's an excuse, a homer take, whatever. Let's just be honest. Yes, it was a rough start for Maddox Madsen. He had 2 bad drives, but Fresno State was just giving them the game, and Max Cutforth couldn't do it. I think if Maddox Madsen's in there, they find a way to win the game. I really do. If folks disagree with that, it is what it is. But I think they probably win the game if Maddox Madsen is at quarterback in that game. But he wasn't. The offense struggled. The running game struggled. And obviously Boise State not able to find a way to win. And the result is a conference loss. And I know nobody wants to hear this. I'm just going to let you know facts are, and I'm not sugarcoating the loss, saying anything about this. The facts are, if Boise State wins out, they will be in the championship game, and they 99.9% will still host the championship game. So if the CFP probably wasn't attainable anyway, nothing else changes except a third loss. You still have a chance to host the championship game. You still have a chance to three-peat on the way out the door. But yes, I agree. The offense has to look a lot better against San Diego State, or there won't be another win and a chance to control your own destiny and have a chance to three-peat. So I understand that, yes, you play like that offensively, you probably will lose to San Diego State. I am not sugarcoating it. I'm not saying anything positive about the game. The fact is, if they can figure out a way to fix it and beat San Diego State, they are still in control of a chance to win and a chance to win out and win the conference championship game. All right, they're pressuring me here for more voicemails. By the way, Eric does a tremendous job, GM of the James here. Come on and see Eric, hang out. We appreciate him and everybody here at the James for taking care of us. Awesome night. Music's playing. People are partying, hanging out, watching the World Series, trying to eat away their sorrows after the game tonight. So we're on the patio. They've got the covered patio now as well. So Brad Bedell wanted to come back and give some more thoughts. Have you I love Brad Bedell. All right, let's find what do we got here? Let's go to Coop. Let's go to Jace. What do you got, Jace?
Hey guys, tough loss for the Broncos on the blue today. I was at the game.
Not hearing anything from Jace. All right, sorry about that. Not hearing. Let's try Cooper. What do you got, Cooper?
This is one of the worst games I think we can ever have. This is absolutely a statement on the coaches, the inability to get anybody on the offense ready to play. Latrell Caples had back-to-back false starts on the second drive. What are we talking about here? The defense looked really good. You just can't win when all you do is go 3 and out and they run it down your throats. They get the ball at the 50 every time. This coaching staff has no idea what they're doing. We should get rid of Nate Potter. He can't call a play to save his life. He can hardly call any sort of game. Eric Shenander probably should have been our head coach. Spencer Danielson can't get anybody fired up. We've got nothing going on offense. Special teams, of course, is a disaster. Everything, Maddox Madsen, injury aside, if Maddox played this game, we may have won. We probably would have won. They have, 50 yards passing? This is absurd. Maddox Madsen injury aside, this falls on the coaches. This team is not well coached. There's no discipline. We probably don't have a jugs machine. Our receivers can't catch. We don't have the money. I mean, this is one of the worst spots we could ever be in. It starts with Spencer Danielson. It starts with Jeremiah Dickey. This is atrocious. We need something to be changed ASAP. Maybe fire both.
All right, appreciate the voicemail there. Not going to lie, it's a little loud, and that one was a little hard to hear. For some reason, you guys are all calling for another one from Parker. Let's hear what Parker's got again.
And to all the other fans who complain about QB play and that we don't have a great QB and so on and so forth, it doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. If your team leads the FBS with penalties, all the good players are getting called back anyway. So, again, this team's biggest issue is discipline. Quarterback doesn't really have much to do with it.
All right, appreciate the voicemail there. Yeah, so many different directions you can go. Again, 193 total yards, third worst in the FBS era. Only 102 passing yards. By the way, Fresno State won this game. I saw somebody put it in the comments with Conklin throwing for 35 yards. Again, Fresno State quarterback passed for 35 yards, and they won the game. He was 10 of 21. it is what it is, folks. It was a historically awful game on the Blue. One of the worst games in the history of the Blue. And now Boise State has to find a way to improve in a big way in 2 weeks and get healthy in a big way in 2 weeks, or it's going to be a rough one out there in San Diego. So appreciate you guys. I'm going to save the last couple of voicemails for the Monday show. If you have another voicemail, another thought on this game, get it in the system. We'll play it on Monday's show at 9 a.m. And appreciate you guys. Again, $7 a month. Help us out if you can subscribe. We'd love to have you. Hey, if you want some positive news, basketball season starts on Monday. The Broncos, Leon Rice and company, they start on Monday against Hawaii Pacific, the regular season opener. We'll have the pregame show at 6 o'clock from Extra Mile Arena as we get you set for basketball on Monday as well. So you got football and basketball talk on Monday morning at 9 a.m., and then the basketball game at 7. We'll preview that at 6 p.m. So all kinds of coverage, football, basketball. Go help us out. Subscribe if you can. 30% off right now at BroncoNationNews.com. We'd love to have you subscribe. Jump in on the message boards. Keep this discussion going, and we will continue this all weekend long. And then, like I said, talk to you at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Thanks to the James Kitchen and Bar for having us. Great spot. They got happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 5. Appreciate everyone that stopped by and said hello. Kane and Rogers did a tremendous job as usual. Our intern. Thanks to Brad. Thanks to Kent. Thanks to Nathan Carroll for helping out as well. Chris Van Sickle helping out back off camera. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. Thank you. Hour and 57 minutes on the Jackson's postgame show. So get on out to Jackson's. 99-cent coffee anytime, a day or night. We appreciate you. And our Circa Survivor pick, the $18 million, we're going with the Rams tomorrow. So we need the Rams to get a big win to keep our $18 million alive in the Circa Survivor pool. Have a great rest of your weekend. Try to stay positive, folks, and we'll think about it for 36 hours. We'll talk on the message boards. We'll talk on the site, and then we'll see you at 9 a.m. Monday. So join us then. We appreciate all you guys. Thanks so much for your support of Bronco Nation News. Subscribe if you can. And again, the final score, 30-7, a historically ugly day on the Blue, but at least you get an extra hour to sleep tonight. And we'll talk to you guys Monday morning. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com. Take care, everybody.
Bronco Nation will not score. Jackson pours. Each game I score a touchdown, head to Jackson's on Monday for a 49-cent fountain drink with Let's Go rewards. And don't forget your free banana, Jackson's. Let's go.
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.